Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Elevated Business. And with me in the studio today is Kent Boehm. In this episode, we're talking about an incredible tool for success, the feedback, learn, change, grow cycle. So make sure you've got a notepad, take some notes, but let's get into it. I'm Mitch Hardington, your guide to elevated business. In this video series, we dive deep into the authentic journeys of business owners who've paved their way to greatness. Get ready to uncover their secrets that shape the remarkable world of business. Kent, I'm super excited we're back. We're here for part 3 of our 4-part series. In episode 1, we talked about overcoming your subconscious to be successful. In episode 2, we talked about keep walking, play by your own terms, kind of set your own rules and how you can overcome some hardships. And in this episode, we're going to talk about mindset. Everybody's favorite hot topic buzzword right now is mindset. So let's start with a big overarching theme before I really drill down into that amazing knowledge I know you got in there. But to you, what is mindset?
Is the number one thing that will make or break us all. Your mindset will dictate your level of what you think is possible. We talked about it briefly early on. Our bank account, our success, our team, our house, our cars, all the material stuff are the byproducts of everything we do. Those are the actions. And those are led by our thoughts. And our thoughts are dictated by our conscious mind. But ultimately, at the root of that, our mindset is our subconscious. And we don't control our subconscious. We can influence it, but our subconscious is the software. It's hardwired in. And until we control that and get a hold of it, we can't control the actions. And so the mindset is the most important thing that will dictate what we think is possible, what we want, what we think is even capable of doing, and how big we can grow.
I love that. I heard an analogy a while ago of your mindset is kind of like a rubber band. Once you take the rubber band out of a package and it's, yay big, right? You stretch it for the first time, it never goes back. And then you stretch it and it's a little bit bigger. Then over years of stretching that rubber band, it gets to a point where it's so big it actually can't go back to where it was before. How does that play into entrepreneurial success?
Building on that, great analogy, it's also a comfort zone. And we have to expand our comfort zone by learning and doing. But to your point, I love it, it's hard to go back to be uncomfortable again once we've broken through that real shift. So I think, yes, as we grow, our mind shift changes. But as we go through that mindset, our perception of what was changes. When we're in the middle of whatever it is, we have a certain myopic view. It's very internal, it's very emotional, can be raw if we're going through some hardship, or even if we're going through a great success story, it's very internal, it's very in the moment. And as we grow, and I think we can all look back, whether you're 15, 25, 35, 95, we can all look back at significant points in our life with the new perspective go, wow, really mucked that up. I must have been an idiot. Or we look back and go, man, you did a really good job. And so our mindset shifts along the way based on our experience, based on the knowledge. And so I think we adjust our mindset with a lot of journaling, self-reflection. So taking the time to not just do and do and do, but to be in the moment and to then reflect and have a scorecard and keep track.
Oh, scorecards.
Yes.
Oh, keeping score.
100%.
I love that. Why is it so important to keep score?
Couple different reasons. One of the advice when we're working with a client, what we offer them is we like to hire competitive people. Entrepreneurs are competitive by nature. It's just who and what we are. We hire competitive people. Historically, the people we like to hire had good grades. They wanted to win. When we play sports, we keep score. The number one thing entrepreneurs forget to do is put up a scoreboard. We don't empower our employees to keep score. They want to win, but we don't give them anything to keep track of. So number one for our employees, to give them a scoreboard, give them a scorecard. And then 2, internally, we are competitive. So we need to understand on that competitive nature, what's working and what's not, so we can make the adjustments as we go.
Would you say that while keeping score is super successful, that at the root of every problem, there is actually an opportunity?
Yes. It goes back to results. The results are the outcome of our actions and our mindset. And so we have to change our actions and our mindset to get a different result. So it really is a self-fulfilling, shitty prophecy at times, but true. If we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, we'll keep getting the same result, good or bad. So we either have to change how we think about it or change what we're doing. And so that scorecards allows us to get external feedback to allow us to make directional changes faster.
Directional changes faster, because I think that's really the root of entrepreneurship. It's like we all have a dream and we're going somewhere, but it's about how do you get there quickly, but how do you get there sustainably, right? So if you're keeping score and you're doing these things and you have the right mindset, you're actually setting yourself up for more success than you are if you've got a terrible mindset and you're just kind of fumbling through and hoping, right? It's actually creating more sustainability.
Yeah. So we'll have a little fun. So you're a pilot, you get in a plane, you take off. How many times have we all gotten on a plane and we took off based on wind direction? Almost always. The airport here in Calgary has 2 runways. They're in a fixed direction. But if you took off on the runway and the airplane never course corrected, we would never get where we want to go.
Yeah.
So the minute you get on a plane and the plane takes off, that pilot is already making course corrections. If the plane never did, we'd be toast.
Yeah.
So think about a plane ride, whether it be an hour long or 7 minutes long or 17 hours long, how many directional changes a pilot has to make along the way to get to the end goal. Mm-hmm. That end goal has a clear definition. It's a point, it's a line, it's well defined, but the path from here to there isn't always the same. You can fly a plane from Los Angeles to New York. It'll probably never take the same flight pattern. Directionally, both the same direction, but the exact same flight pattern, nope. Has to adjust for wind, temperature, sun, all that stuff.
I've actually never heard that analogy kind of said just like you were before, and it brings me back to this image I have of somebody that charted success before, and they said, you know, here's your destination and here's your dream success, and they just draw this line. And that was my first, I was like, oh, okay, well, that seems pretty straightforward. And then the more people I talk to and the more coaching and the more successful people I talk to, they're like, no, my map kind of looks like here's the start point and here's the end point. And then there's just this mismatch of stuff in the middle to get you to the end. It's like, but you still got there.
Yep.
But it's because we used everything like we did in the first 2 episodes, you know, redefining what success means to you, making sure that you're winning, like you just gave in that last analogy, adjusting your course, not being so hyper-focused on it has to be done this way, but just being open to, it'll happen. I'm gonna use everything I have as an opportunity, not a problem, to get me to where I wanna go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity because we've never done it before. So it's an opportunity because it wasn't perfect. What do we get right in it? What do we need to fix? Because that opportunity, if we don't address it, will rear its ugly head tomorrow or in 6 months at some point in the future if it's not addressed, because it's truly an opportunity for you, because it's in your way for a reason to either help you or stop you from your goals, so you have to address it.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of a quote I heard, and I'd love to give the person credit, but at this moment I just can't remember. But they said if you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It's just like when you're going back to, we're talking about mindset and success, and if you're just continuously beating your head against the wall, being like, no, this is the way, I must do it, or your plane is taking off and you're like, well, no, this is the way they taught me to do it in the manual. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again without achieving results.
Another way to put it is, you know, what we have today, good or bad, is a result of decisions and actions we made yesterday. Mm-hmm. So if we apply that forward, what we have tomorrow, we based on decisions and action we take today. So why do we spend so much time looking backwards when really we need to be looking at the decisions and action we made today to make sure that tomorrow is better than today?
Learn from the past to influence the future. Right?
Beauty. Yep.
Stop looking in the rearview mirror. It's gone.
It's gone. Can't change it.
Nothing you can do to get that back. It's gone. Yep. So in terms of mindset, and again, going back to our overarching theme of success, in your experience as a coach, what have you seen if we had to pick out 2 or 3 major mindset shifts that you've seen people go through that help them get the results faster?
3 things that help a person go through a mindset shift. Going back to the beginning, you got to have a dream or goal. You got to start with what you're trying to accomplish. It has to make you feel uncomfortable and in some way drive you, and the way I call it, it has to drag you into the fight. Building anything great is going to be a challenge. There's going to be learning. It's going to be hard. It's going to be easy, but it has to drag you in the fight. It has to make you want to play. So that's number 1. Then 2, understand that you're going to have to learn through every stage of growth. So when it comes to, was it mindset you said? I was just kind of getting through those things. Yeah, it's that understanding of what you thought was going to be hard today may or not be hard. And there's a bunch of other stuff coming your way that you didn't see coming, you're gonna have to learn through. And then thirdly, resolve. Just settling in and understanding that there's gonna be great things and bad things along the journey. And we have to decide as entrepreneurs what we do when those opportunities come and how we get through it.
I've noticed a theme from our 3 segments so far, and they all revolve around having a giant dream as kind of the pulling force and making sure that you are winning.
100%.
Set your own rules.
Yes.
Okay, so, I'm so excited for our last episode. We're gonna be talking strictly around advice and what people can do, and we're gonna try and give people some really actionable things to help them move forward. So before we jump into that, I just wanna thank you again for episode 3. I wanna thank the people who are here listening. And Kent, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Quite simply, you can find me on LinkedIn, Kent Boehm. You can call our office, 403-690-8363, or you can just go to our website, businesscoachingcalgary.com.
Awesome. Everybody, thanks again for being here. We're about to jump into our 4th and final episode in Time with Kent. We're going to be talking about advice, and we're really going to sum up everything we've been doing from success to hardships and mindset to put it all together in a hopes and an effort. And I know, and I'm sure that you can also say that you know, it's really just to help you succeed and be the best that you possibly can. Until next time. As we conclude this episode of Elevated Business, I'm Mitch Hardington, reminding you that every challenge is a stepping stone to greatness. Stay tuned for more stories of entrepreneurs who are shaping their destiny. Until next time, elevate your business and dreams.